Hello dear students, I welcome you all in the class of English Literature, and we'll start with the third and last part of chapter 4, that is The King and the Fiery Dragon. Up till now we have discussed one poem that was written by Ramesh's grandmother, and now come on, check out the next part of the poem. Okay children, up till now we have seen in the poem that they were firing with aiming with the arrows, spears and cannons on the dragon, but it was just nothing harmed the dragon. All these were useless for him. He opened his mouth and let out a big flame and lashed his tail that put the king's army to shame. Lash means he just hit his tail hard on the ground, lashed, and that created a lot of noise from that, and the king's army felt ashamed of. His eyes were red with rage. Rage means anger, and fury. Fury means violence. So he was getting so violent at that time. His eyes were becoming red with rage and fury, and he knew they would kill him and bury. In one side of his heart, the dragon, he knew that they would kill him and bury, but he was doing his duty. He was just very much protective for the treasure, and that he knew that it was very precious. So, but his duty was to protect the treasure that was precious. So he turned dangerous and extremely ferocious. So that is why he was turning dangerous and getting extremely violent. He was just anyhow, he was just getting ferocious, and anyhow he was trying to just save only the treasure. Okay. The soldiers were soon dead. Some down the mountain rolled. Rolled means they just rolled down to the mountains after getting died. They just fall off here and there. The king lost the battle, was left in the cold. Now because all the soldiers were soon dead and the king left alone, all alone, so he just lost the battle that was going between the dragon and his army. So what happened? He was just left in the cold. Means he was just left all alone, and all his strength and might couldn't help him win. Strength and might of the king. All his strength and might couldn't help him win. The dragon wanted the king to realize his sin. Now what happened? Because the soldiers were died and he was left all alone, and all the strength and power what he had was, with that also he was just unable to win the battle, and he left all alone. And the dragon, he only wanted that the king to realize his sin. Sin means that that to realize that you are doing very wrong. Why? The dragon roared, the treasure is for the good of people. So this is only the thing that dragon wanted him to realize, that the treasure you are trying to just rob is only for the good of the people. What good of the people? What kind of good? That to build the hospitals, to build the schools, roads, and whatever for the benefit of the society, for the benefit of the people. Okay, he just don't want anything for himself. The dragon was just protecting that treasure because for the good of the people. And it is not for you or anyone from your family. So he was just telling, the dragon was just telling to king that it was not for you, not for me, not for anyone of your from your family. It is just, this treasure is only to be utilized for the good of the people. The king made up his mind to work for the welfare of his people. Really. Now, then after, the king made up his mind and he realized that yes, he was wrong on his part, and whatever he was doing, that was very wrong, because the treasure is for the society, not for his family or not for him also. So he just realized his sin and made up his mind and start to the working for the welfare of the people. So children, the dragon was successful in making him realize, the king, that he was doing wrong, and he's made up his mind to work for the welfare of the people from then. So this is the poem all about what was written by grandmother, Ramesh's grandmother. Okay. Now Ramesh stood up with excitement and shouted, "Wow, the dragon won!" So he was excited and he just liked the poem very much, and he was excited to know that yes, the dragon won. Grandmother closed her diary and looked up. Yes, indeed, he did. But what you learned from this, dear? Now, grandmother wanted to ask, and she said that, okay, yes, indeed, he won, but what you learned from this? Well, we should not be selfish and greedy. What does selfish mean, children? That the person, those are very self-centered and not care about anybody else. And greedy means you're wanting more and more. Okay, the desires, very desire, having a great desire of having something or the other. So, well, we should not be selfish and greedy. We should work for the good of others. Now, he was telling that he learned from this story or the poem that we should not be selfish, we should not be greedy, we should work for the good of others. That is my boy, said grandma cheerfully and kissed him. So now after that he also realized that what is story all about and what is the moral of the story, and after that grandma also was very happy, and then she said that is my boy, and she just kissed him. She continued, people here believe that after many years the dragon turned into a rock and never left the village. So this was the question that was asked by Ramesh, that why people were dancing and what is the story all behind. So she gave the reason now at the end, that people here believe that the rock, they were just dancing around. So they believe that this is only the dragon. He just turned into a rock and never left the village after that. So they kind of gathered there and celebrated as a festival, and they still thought that he is there in a form of rock only and protecting the town over there. Okay children, so this is the story all about. A very interesting story. I think you're also liking the story. You have also liked the story, yes? And a very good moral also is coming from the story, that we should not be selfish, we should always care for the others, and we should not be greedy, and always we should work for the good of others. Okay, so now children, I have a little practice worksheet for you. Okay children, you can see here the practice worksheet for you. Answer the following questions. So here are some questions related to the story. The first one is, at which station did Ramesh get down and whom did he meet there? Okay. The second question is, who used to guard the treasure? Third is, who led the soldiers to Dragon Mountain? And the fourth one is, what did the dragon want the king to realize? So these are all 4 questions, and you can find it from the story as well. So go through the video again and again, and you can find the answers very easily. And the second question is, write true or false. The king went to the Dragon Mountain all alone. Is it true or false? You have to write it. People believed that the dragon turned into a diamond. Is it right or wrong? The dragon's eyes were red with anger. Is it right? You have to mention it. Ramesh's grandmother was singer and composer in her young age. Okay, so is it true or false? You heard the story. Now you can give all the answers regarding this. Okay children? Thank you.